Hi, I'm Syncweaver, and I'm in my pajamas right now. My camera is fully blooming me out in some sort of white color right now, and I'm also a Final Fantasy XIV player, just to let you know. So, there are some negativity going around in the 14 community, and I just want to address this. I just want to talk about it a little bit, and I want to express how stupid this all is. Honestly, it's really just stupid. We're talking about streamers and content creators who are playing the game. That's fine, right? But then you gotta talk about the fact that they might be boosting. I understand the situation where there's a lot of people who are trying to boost. I understand the situation where that could seem like a bad thing. But here's something that you guys should know. Here, I'm just gonna let you guys know. It doesn't matter. A lot of people are probably fearing that there will be another Quinn scenario where you get to level 18, you play the first dungeon, then decide you're going to boost even though you said you weren't going to boost, and then once you do boost, you're thinking and lying about the fact that, oh yeah, this is easy, when you got carried to the point through these dungeons and through these raids, right? And you're saying, oh, it's easy, yeah, it's easy, and you're screwing up, dying, and messing up all over the place when you go into Savage, which you just jump right in without knowing any of the mechanics that really does teach you throughout the game. And he says, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway because it's easy. And honestly, when he said that the story for Final Fantasy does not come up to par as World of Warcraft, it pissed a lot of people off, especially the WoW refugees who are like, are you fucking on crack or something? Honestly, I don't really care what Quinn thinks about the game. It's not like he's really going to change the atmosphere of Final Fantasy, except for the fact that he said something negative about the story and then a whole bunch of people really got up his ass on that. I'm just saying, I don't give a shit. I don't care what Quinn thinks about Final Fantasy. And no one should really care about the fact that these streamers and content creators are boosting. Now, a lot of you guys have history with boost. I can understand that because I have history with boost too. I've never boosted, and I don't think anyone should really boost in the game, but that is just my opinion. And the reason why I've had problems with boosting is when people get to a certain part, or you know that they have boost, right? You know they boosted, and they have no idea how to play the job. You have no idea how to clear a mechanic which has been shown to someone before, someone who I've had it. I've felt it, I've experienced it, someone who did not know what the stack mechanic was, and they had no idea what the stack mechanic was, and they constantly started running away. They're like, oh man, I should get out of this, and boom, they're dead, and they were the healer. That's annoying. But that's, very few and in between. That's not a thing that I see common. That's not something that I witness commonly, and in fact, I don't see it. It's very rare nowadays for me. So that's just one negative thing really when it comes to boosting. And if someone boosted just to experience the in-game, that's something that is, well, I will explain that. I want to explain the situation in terms of context here. There are streamers and content creators who are coming from World of Warcraft. They're teaming up with people who are like world first or high-end raiders from Final Fantasy who are doing this thing where in all of like, I think September, they are going to be doing in-game stuff, Savage raiding, and they're probably going to, mess up all the time because they won't understand the mechanics when they get there. It's basically going to be a shit show, and they're doing this for laughs and entertainment rather than being perfectionists of their craft. You see a whole bunch of like world first and high-end raiders all the time just beating the ever-living crap out of all the savages and even ultimates. This is not the case. This is just for fun, and these content creators and streamers are not just here to just get to endgame. And I know it's a shame that they're going to miss out on basically 80% of the game, but you have to give them a little bit of respect for the fact that they're at least trying to learn the job in the class that they choose. They want to experience the gameplay. They want to experience what they are more used to, which is in-game raiding and hard content. That's where they come from. That is the culture that they were brought up. These are people who have done world first probably in high-end tier raiding. These are people who only like the gameplay. People just don't give a crap about the story sometimes, and people will have to understand that the story isn't important to everyone. It's just not. It's not important to everyone. Me, I'm a lore buff. I think the story is the most important thing, but that's me as an individual, as Sinkweaver or Marvin. Yeah, that's my name. Yeah, that's my name. There are people who just don't give a crap about the story, man. That's just the case. You have to let go of the fact that some people will experience a story in so many different ways. Some people may just want to go into the game and do a whole bunch of odd things. Like maybe they just want to go to the Golden Saucer and spend their time there and get all the glamour in the game, get all the achievements in the game, which I don't know if there's a single person who's gotten every single achievement in the game yet. Maybe there are. I have no idea. I'm sure someone's going to link it in the comments. But maybe someone is going for that. Maybe someone's going for the glamour. Maybe someone wants to be the best Mahjong player, Tetramaster player. Maybe someone wants to do chocobos all day, you know? Maybe they want to breed their chocobo until it's an amalgamation of a mutation of a chocobo for it being bred in the right way, right? Maybe they just want to do that. Hell, if they ever brought Blitzball into this game, I would be there. I would be playing Blitzball all fucking day. There are people who just care about certain little things in here. Maybe they care about doing the minion thing. I thought about that for a second. I know that does not exist. Maybe there are people who just care about gathering, crafting, making more and more money. Maybe there are people who just care about, I don't know, hanging out with their friends. Maybe this is just a social place. They don't really do anything, they just hang out with their friends. And then there are people who, honest to God, just want to act like someone else. You know, RP is a big thing in MMOs, in Final Fantasy especially. You got that, remember? You got people who are just in the game to RP. They probably do not give a shit about everything else, but they love to RP. Let them do them. Just like how everybody else do their thing, you got raiders. You got top of the line raiders who just care about raiding. And if they give money to Square Enix to boost, to get past the story and get past all the hard parts of raising your level, let them do that. I mean, I know a lot of people have problems with the shop, right? I don't think the shop is very offensive. I don't think it wrecks the economy in a sort of way. I don't think it destroys it or messes with it in a way. I mean, you can leave that to the crafters. They'll just fuck up the economy no matter what server you're in. If there are a fuck ton of crafters, they will mess up your economy some form or fashion in some way. But aside from talking about myself, because I am also part of that crew, and my FC is part of that crew too, people will play the game the way they want. There is really, I mean, honestly, yeah, you could say that there is a wrong way to play, which the example would be Quinn, who then lied about how it's really darn easy and the story is just bullshit or something like that.
The story sucks.
I don't think he said that. I think he said that WoW story is better than Final Fantasy.
You have to read it, bro. Yeah, I enjoy WoW story more than Final Fantasy story by a mile.
That's really weird for me to say that. But I don't think that this is going to be the same scenario. These people want to play the game for the gameplay's sake, to see the hard raids. They want to see the hard content, play the hard content, and actually have excitement doing what they do best, which is to play a game in hard content. This is where they come from. This is their culture. I mean, if we're gonna talk about WoW just a sec, right? World of Warcraft pushes all players to max level real fast, and they want them to just stick to the end game, play the end game, all the dungeons and raids. And I mean, honestly, I didn't make it to end game, and I stopped because of their reasons, let's just say that. But I didn't make it to endgame, and I already understand what it is. I had people send me walls of information and documents and videos, hundreds of hours of videos of me just learning the lore, only to get to a point where I'm like, why are they shoving a big sword up Azeroth's ass, and why aren't we talking about that more? Oh, we're doing faction war again? Really? Wait, Land of the Dead? How does that even correlate? I've had my problems. I have my problems with World of Warcraft, and so many other people do. You got raiders leaving. You got people who did lore content leaving. You have people just leaving because they weren't having fun. And then you got people who are still playing because that's their game. I respect if you have a lot of fun playing World of Warcraft. I hope you do. And I respect anyone coming over to Final Fantasy and just wanting to do the thing that they want to do. If it's boosting just to do the in-game content, I respect their decision. I may not do that, I may disagree with it, but respectfully, I will let them be. Because I'm not part of that sphere, nor is it toxic. Or do they bring toxicity? They just want to play hard content, man. They just want to play the game. Let them play the game. If they shove out more money, oh god, my phone went off. If they shove out more money, right? If they shove out more money to Yoshi P and his team, who are we to say, right? How's that a bad thing that Square Enix or Yoshi P is getting more money from the shop? And I get it. People disagree with the shop. I disagree with the shop, right? I don't like boosts, but at the same time, you know, this shop goes into the development of the game, and it kind of shows, though I don't know in what way, but you know, Yoshi P said that, yeah, anything that's being bought in the shop and the money that goes into the shop comes back into the game. That's what he said. I hope there's a video out there. I think there is, and maybe someone will find it and post a link to it. Yoshi P has talked about this before. He's talked about certain third-party programs. He's talked about the eShop and, you know, why it's there, why it exists. In fact, he doesn't have much control over that. He doesn't have a lot of control over that. Someone else has control over that, and it has to be there. But if you think about it, there are things in the eShop that like, if you really wanted it in the game, you can't find it in game because they took it out because of, you know, seasonal things, or it was an event, so they put it in the shop so that you could buy it. And I know they could just put it in the game. They could put it, they could bring back the event, right? Yes, they could. They probably should. But there are things in the eShop like the mounts, and I know that's a negative thing to say. There's mounts that you can only get in the shop. That's not fair. I want to earn it because I don't have money. You're right. That's true. That's fair. You're right. However, when it comes right down to it, you know, that's an option, right? That's an option store mount that you don't need to get. I know the whale was also a shop thing, but honestly, that was for FanFest, right? And that's like, I mean, all this money is just showing support that you want 14 to stay strong. Again, I understand the shop can be very negative, and I disagree with the shop myself. I don't use it. There are emotes on there for like $1 or $2. There are mounts on there for like $15, $20 on there. There are full attire for like $12, $15 in there, and that you can only get in the eShop. Those are there for aesthetic purposes. They're not changing the game in any kind of way. These boosts are not changing the game for anyone else except for the person who's buying the boost. Now, compare that to World of Warcraft, where in classic mode, they have boosts and they have WoW tokens. It blows my mind that they want to make a classic server, but then they attached a shop to it, so people were like, hey, you don't want to do that, you don't want to do all those grinding, right? You don't want to get all that armor, right? Well, if you don't want to do that, we have a boost here. So here, have a boost. Play with your friends who are higher level than you, or be beyond them. Go straight to level 58. Tell them to eat shit because you're a higher level than them because you had the money. Oh my god, that's such a bad thing for a classic server that they had to revive because people literally complained about it. And I feel so sad for people who play classic WoW. I really do. They shouldn't have attached a shop to that at all. And even still, the whole boost thing, I thought for not classic but retail WoW, I thought that was an alt thing. Somebody who doesn't want to level their alt, like go through all the steps of leveling their alt all over again. But then I thought about it, I'm like, wait, can't you just get the max level in like 3 days? So honestly, the shop for Blizzard and WoW, it's pretty sketchy. For Final Fantasy, it's alright, it's tolerable, you know, it's tolerable. It's not really interfering with my life. I can ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist, and it does not change the game for me. Man, I went on about the shop and not really about the content creators or the streamers, but I think you guys get my point. Just let them be. Let them be. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the shit show that they're going to be going through. I don't think anyone deserves all the negativity that they are getting. I know a lot of people are going to probably pop on it and say, you're doing this wrong, and really just backseat driving them all. It's a word that I want to say, that the 14 community could possibly be a positive negativity. What does that mean? It means that they're trying to do something positive, but it comes out with a negative result. They're trying so hard to be like, that's not how you play. The way you play and more enjoyable is to play it this way. And at the same time, the person who you're telling that to is getting annoyed and saying, you know what, fuck the game, right? Like, that can happen. If you destroy the experience of the streamers, they probably will not try to give the game a chance. They are already giving it a chance by boosting it and playing what they already know, which is high-end and hard content. They're going to have to get themselves ready in a month. They have to learn their job in a month, and they could say, fuck the story. That's fine. That's how they play the game, and that's okay. Anyway, I'm done talking. I hope you guys understand that I'm not trying to come at a place where I'm attacking anybody. I just want others to calm down a bit. Try to understand that it may not be the way that you play it, but there are so many ways to play 14 that you can't just yell at someone because they're trying to play it their way. If they're getting enjoyment out of the game, let them play it the way they want, and if they, at the end of the day, think that's not the game for them, let them go. They go and do whatever they want, and you have nothing to do with it. Your life is not connected to them in any kind of way. Hope you guys have a good evening and have a good night. I'm going to go to bed because I got up in my jams for all this. God, I hope I don't have to do this again. Anyway, have a good night. I'll see you guys next time, hopefully on stream. And stay vigilant, everybody. Stay vigilant.